Good morning. Welcome back into Wake Up America. I'm Rob Finnerty.
And I'm Allison Maloney. Joining us now is Ukrainian Parliament member Alexey Goncharenko. Alexey, welcome back to Wake Up America.
Hello.
Alexey, good morning. Good to see you joining us from a car somewhere in Kyiv. I want to get right into peace talks today happening in Istanbul, Turkey. And what do you make about this kind of bizarre story about the Russians apparently poisoning their own Russian billionaire negotiator, Roman Romanovich? Does that mean these peace talks are just a total joke?
I'm not very optimistic about these peace talks. About poisoning, you know, Putin likes poisoning. He used Novichok many times, polonium. So he likes to kill people in different ways. So he's continuing his job, and he's making fun of himself like he understands this. So I'm not surprised with this.
Yeah. Alexey, is there any way Ukraine gives the Donbas and Crimea, or is this all on the table if this means peace? Like, what do you think will come of this?
We will never agree that Donbas and Crimea are Russian, and it will not happen. What we can speak about, we can go back to February 23, when Crimea, like now, and at that moment, Crimea was not controlled by our army, and part of Donbas was not controlled by our army. And we can go back to this date and speak about how to find a way out. But we are not going to accept these territories or other territories which Russia temporarily occupied during this month, that they are Russian. We will never accept it.
Yeah, I think most people are unaware that Ukraine and Russia have been at war for the better part of 8 years right now. The Donbas region, it's about the size of the state of Connecticut here in the United States, largely Russian-speaking. And Crimea was annexed in 2014, although not formally recognized by your country of Ukraine. Are you saying there is no way, there is no circumstance where Ukraine would allow those two territories to become part of Russia?
This, when you say allow, it means that these territories want to be part of Russia and people there. I'm also Russian speaking from Odessa,
right,
which is in the southern part of Ukraine. Certainly I speak Ukrainian, but my first language is Russian. And for me, they are like probably bilingual. And I don't want any Putin and millions of Russian-speaking Ukrainians. Thousands of them are now fighting against Russians in Ukrainian army or in civilian militia or in other forces. So we cannot allow or not allow. We will not give a possibility to take our territories by force, what Russia is going to do. So this we will never accept. Yes, it can take time. Like, for example, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, they were waiting for almost 50 years before restoration of their independence, but it happened. The same situation here. We will never accept the fact that they're Russian, but we can speak about status quo on February 23, like it was before the invasion, which comes and realizes absolutely not the way that Putin was looking for.
Yeah.
Especially if we will receive more help from Western countries in weapons, I think we will show Russia their place.
Alexey, speaking of those weapons, I know the United States has given Ukraine supplies, aid, weapons. Are you getting these weapons? Are you getting the supplies in time? Do you still need things? And we know that you want the aircrafts, but are you actually even seeing these weapons?
Yes, we receive weapons, we receive javelins, we receive things like this. We receive Stingers, and that's important for us also. But we want to, and we ask for a more powerful air defense, because Russian fighters and Russian bombers, they are too high for Stingers, and it's for us impossible to use them to protect our cities. For example, just hours ago in Nikolaev, I think that I was in your live from Nikolaev too, there was a hit on their local administration of the region where I was just days ago. And that
right,
was a hit just in the middle of the building.
Yeah.
Three persons are killed. And that is one more assault against, it's not a military object, it's a civilian administration.
Yeah.
Alexey Goncharenko, good to see you as always. Stay safe, my friend. Come
Thank
back
you
and
very
see
much.
us soon. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.